Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Ashton's Hybrid Evolution. Today, we are going to be taking you through the top 5 plyometric exercises that you need to include in your routine, whether you are a seasoned athlete or just starting your fitness journey. You make sure that you get these inside of your program at least 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, so you're probably thinking, Ashton, why do I need to include plyometrics into my workouts? Well, it's simple. So we want to be able to, as athletes, be as explosive as possible, to move as quickly as possible, and therefore we need to generate force. Plyometrics are what helps us to generate force, whether that's on a vertical plane, on a horizontal plane. We also want to have good muscle-mind connection as athletes, and plyometrics activates our central nervous system, and therefore for those 2 reasons, explosive power, central nervous system activation, we want to include our plyometrics. The first exercise is going to be the box jump. The box jump is the OG, the ultimate, the original of plyometric. Now on this one, we are emphasizing a vertical jump and a slightly forward movement as we land, making sure that we land in a nice braced position. So here, I'm not looking for a rolling start into the box jump. I want to make sure that I'm standing directly here next to the box jump, not too close, not too far. And then I'm into my start position and explode up and into the catch. Okay, it looks like this. I'm not rolling in, I'm nice and static. My arms can be at the top. I'm gonna load the hips, explode and catch. Okay, our next exercise is gonna be the seated vertical jump. Now this one again is working on that vertical axis, but we're really gonna be focusing on how fast can we get our feet to the floor and then actively move up on that vertical plane. This one is a great exercise for any athlete that needs to go from a starting position to a very fast moving vertical plane position. Could be someone who's playing basketball, volleyball, tennis slams, etc. The first thing that we want to be doing, we're going to get a nice tall position, our hands in the air, our feet are going to come off the floor, and we're going to explode as fast as possible to the top on this vertical plane, making sure that we tap our feet into the floor fast and then bring our toes back up again into that position. So it looks like this. The hands are up. This is my start position. This is my explosion and back down. Hands up, feet come up, keep exploding into the floor. You can see that my feet are actively going down into that position when I'm in the air. Okay, we're on to our third exercise. The third exercise is one of my all-time favorites for athletes, and this is going to be the explosive banded kettlebell swing. Now, as athletes, one of the most important things or aspects that we want to work at inside of our fitness is generating force out of the hip. Now, one of the ways that we do that is by loading the hip and by exploding through into that triple extension position. So this exercise is really going to emphasize and make sure that you're able to fold at the hips and then explode through into that triple extension. So let's get into it. So now you would have wrapped your kettlebell through the top of the handle, and as you can see, I'm standing on the band with both of my feet. Next, we're going to pick up the kettlebell. We will get into our start position here, making sure that our shoulders are back, our core is engaged, our glutes are active, and then we're going to go through the movement and explosive as possible at the top. Hinge, explode, hinge, explode. Okay, the first 3 movements were more focused on the lower body. We had our hip hinge movement, we had the triple extension, we had our vertical jumps. Now we're moving to the upper body, and the first exercise is going to be a kneeling landmine explosive press. This movement I highly recommend for NFL players who are kind of the blockers, and they need to be able to have that quick explosive handoff, even for rugby players as well. Tennis players, this is a great movement as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get down onto our knees. If you're working through the right arm, you're going to have your left leg in front, your right leg behind. We're going to pick up the barbell that is placed inside of the landmine. We're going to be actively braced in the core. Our glutes are active, our shoulders are pushed back, and we're going to try to move as explosive as possible upwards with the barbell. So it looks like this. I want to make sure that you start in the start position nice and braced. You explode and control at the top. So I don't want you to go as fast as possible. I want you to really control the movements. You're at the bottom, explode through and hold. Come back down, explode and hold. Really working out of the lats, out of the core, and making sure that you're stable inside of this leg. Okay team, we're on to our last exercise, and this one is going to be focusing on our rotational power loading of the hips and moving on the rotation of the hips. So this exercise is going to be the medicine ball rotational slam, where we're focusing on the hip and core rotation and explosion. Key tips to be focusing on the rotational slams. The first one is we want to get into our nice race and start position. We're always having our knees bent, the core is active, the glutes are active. In this exercise, I'm looking for you to move to the side, load the hip, and then explode through as fast as possible. So I'm not throwing with my arms, but rather I'm loading the hip and exploding through with that rotation. Okay team, those are my top 5 plyometric exercises that I can recommend to you, whether you're an athlete, football, rugby, cricket, tennis, MMA. These are going to be the top 5 plyometrics exercises that you can include in your routine. If you're just starting your fitness journey, these are perfect for you to start developing fast, explosive movements, good rotational power, and loading of the hips. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you tune into the next videos. We'll see you there.